Here are the top posts from Answers on the 18th of February 2020.
SnakeGent 1. Did people have more purchasing power 60 years ago than today?
Macaframa. The average house cost in 1950 was $7,354. At $275 per month for salary, they wouldn't go over 20% income for housing, which means $55 per month for mortgage at 133 months, just over 11 years. The ratio of the house is about 26 times the monthly. In the Bay Area, the average household income for people not in the tech industry is probably on par with the national average, 56 to 60K a year, but the houses are on average $2 million. That's a ratio of 428 times the income. Let's be more generous with the income for this area though, and look at some tech salaries. On average it's 120 to 150K a year, so that's still about 180 times the salary. So the houses are about 7 times as expensive as they were in the 50s in relation to salary. Not to mention population growth and a whole bunch of other things that we can't just spitball. It's a very complicated issue. But I think we can kind of eyeball the problem and say reasonably that the housing market is out of hand. This is the average plucked from the Bay Area. Atlanta, however, might be less. The ratio is 5,600 to 350,000, so it's about 65 times a monthly salary. That's still 3 times as expensive as the 50s. I think I'm going to do a web project with this research. Thanks for the idea, man. Up to the security rules of your local court.
Japanese knotweed. Yes, some things to keep in mind as you do research. 60 years ago clothes were more expensive, but they lasted longer and fashion wasn't fast. You were not expected to look cutting-edge current, and you weren't looked down on for having a small number of rotating outfits. On the average, putting together and maintaining a professional-appearing wardrobe cost less. You only needed a landline to be professionally, socially reachable. Local class were flat fee. Long distance was metered, and everyone planned calls for cheap times whenever possible. Phones were durable. They stuck on the wall and simply did not break. You were not expected to provide a car for all legal adults in the family. It was okay for the whole family to share one vehicle, and to plan accordingly. You had one television, and once you bought it, you were done. Shows came over the airwaves, free. The monthly bills you need to pay to remain relevant, current, normal today have proliferated like crazy. Younger people are getting hosed.
News Round 123.
Brilu 34. Besides inflation and wages not keeping up with living expenses, there are more things to purchase today. Cable TV, internet and cell phones are monthly bills that didn't exist then. Health insurance was cheaper and was usually supplied by your employer. Now, even if your company gives you health insurance, you probably have to pay for a portion, usually half, yourself. Not to mention, if you have a family, you usually have to pay for all of that too. There are also many more medications and procedures that are available today that didn't exist then. Non-existent medicines and procedures don't cost at all, but real ones do. More companies also had retirement plans for their employers that no longer do. That's another expense that has been transferred to the individual. These are things that come to my mind. I'm sure there are many more similar examples. Yes, this is called isometric exercise. Rainoob. Why do so many freeway drivers resist rage at the zipper merge?
In prison, they use a towel where one pulls down with the triceps and the other curls up with their biceps.
Lisa 5605. I live in an area where the zipper merge was never taught. We're taught to merge early into one big lane. Lane ends. Merge right. Anybody who doesn't merge early is obviously trying to cut in line and is a dickhead who needs to be stopped at all costs because they aren't being nice. If the line is long enough, people will straddle the lane so other people can't zoom ahead. Your fancy zipper logic be damned. It's not fair that I have to wait in this long line and you don't. In short, it's a lack of training and built-up road rage.
Han Jinon. The general me-first mentality seen on the road combined with a lack of understanding of, or faith in, the zipper method actually being faster.